This video is brought to you by Moomoo. If you'd like a free share of Lucid, you can deposit $100 on their platform, or if you want up to $12,500 in free stock, you can sign up and deposit $1 on their platform. The links are below in the description or pinned comment section. And with that being said, let's get right into today's video. What's going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another update for you guys. Indoor sunglasses engaged. Today we are going to be taking a look at ticker symbols Evfm, BOXT, and REV, looking at the short squeeze plays behind them and giving you guys a general update on information and maybe, a little bit of Hootmoney opinion sprinkled in there as well. Just ignore my opinion if you just want the data. I won't be offended. Just don't be a little crybaby in the comment section and it's all good. Anyways, if you guys wanted to join Hootmoney Trade Alerts, we've been making some absolute banger plays lately. We recently called out TRKA that ran 280%, GMVD that ran 120%. We're in a new squeeze play right now. There was another video on that one earlier today. But with all that being said, let's get right into today's video. All right, so first stock is Evfm. This is a stock that makes female contraceptives, and because of the decision with Roe versus Wade on Friday, this stock has been running very, very violently. As you guys can see, it is currently sitting up about 200% from the original position before it started making moves on Friday. So the first thing that you have to understand is, well, it's a bit of a chase. You're definitely catching it on the upwards momentum, not on a dip, right? I mean, this is pretty obvious with all the volume that we're seeing on the stock right now. So the tall tale signs off the bat is that, hey, this might not be the best entry point. This might develop to be a good entry over the coming days. Perhaps it makes a move down to this demand zone down here from 60 cents to 70 cents, or it even can potentially retrace down to 40 cents. I'm not saying it will, but I am saying that if it does, that would be a good spot to potentially get a bounce and then a good entry on it. Now, you have to understand that this stock has a very high risk of being diluted. There are currently warrants that are in the money at 75 cents. So the float could balloon overnight, as you can see, because warrants make up a very large sum of the fully diluted shares outstanding on this stock. And you can clearly see that the risk of being diluted is extremely high on Evfm. Moving into the Ortex data, you guys can see the free float is 37 million shares. Now, I might not be correct with this one. Ortex is notoriously incorrect with their free float estimates, and the short interest data is a little sketchy, saying that there's only 0.92% utilization. I'm just going to say that this data is most likely all types of effed up right now. As you guys can see, short interest is at 26%, up about 178% from last week. Moving into Fintel, on Friday, they had 400,000 in short exempt volume, which is a very, very high number. However, over the free float of, again, 37 million shares, it is not the most significant amount of short exemptions. There's way more volume on the stock as of today than there was yesterday. If we get rid of some of those drawings, you can see right here, very high volume. So I do expect the short exempt volume to be up as of today. And for those that don't understand what a short exemption is, it is essentially a naked short sale that is exempt from the normal short sale rules, right? And they don't actually have to borrow the stock in order to place the short sale. Only a market maker can do a short exemption, and it needs to be covered within T+6 of the short exemption occurring. So it's almost like a share buyback program within 6 days, and it's a pretty interesting statistic that you can use to profit. So I definitely recommend doing more research on that if you have not looked into it already. Moving into the unusual whales options flow, you can see that Nearly all the options being placed right here are put options. Now, our filters are $10,000 in premium or more and ask side only. So there's no selling of either puts or calls. It is just the simple buying of either one of those options. And as you can see, it is overwhelmingly bearish. Again, guys, there is a very high risk of being diluted on this stock. So it does make sense that there would be pretty bearish call option volume, right? And also something to note about Evfm is that it is trading at about 91 cents. The call options start at $2.50 on this stock. So there isn't any in the money strike prices for call options, which could be a reason why there's not too much call option volume on the stock right now. So just because this flow is overwhelmingly 94% bearish doesn't mean the stock is actually 94% bearish as of today, because the only options that are in the money right now at that $2.50 strike price are put options. And then, as you guys probably know, in the money options are much less risky than out of the money options. So if a bull wanted to bet on a call option, it would be extremely more risky. So it would make sense that there are less call options being traded on Evfm. The next stock that we're going to be taking a look at is BOXT, or Boxed Incorporated. It has seen a lot of insider buying as well as bullish news over the past week or so, and with that has seen loads of volatility. As you guys can see, that first run moved up 126% right there, only to decline roughly 45% from its lows, and now it is on its comeback rally, up about 5% from this dip right here. Now the question is whether or not it does in fact continue, and what I'm going to say about that is not a prediction on whether it just shoots up or shoots down, but rather a prediction that it probably has a difficult time breaking this 296 level. But if it does find support, hopefully it can find support at this little demand zone down here at 228. Then once it does finally break out of that 294 level, I would expect some more explosive upside. So right now for BOXT, the range that I would be watching is the 226 to 295 range. Break out of 295, expect some more upside. Break down out of 226, either expect a strong recovery and then off to new highs, or it continue to break down even lower, potentially 163. Boxed has a 45 million share free float and $160 million market cap. The short interest has been increasing pretty nicely. It's pretty much capped out at this point. Utilization was at 100% a week ago. It is still at 100% today. So the overall changes in short interest is only up 9%, but that does not mean that this play is over, as it is pretty much fully juiced out on short interest. And you guys can see there are 0 shares available to short as of 3 hours ago, and the cost to borrow has been moving up very, very nicely. There's also been a ton of short exempt volume right here, almost 1 million over the course of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week. If we compare that to their free float of 45 million shares, again, it's not too extreme, but it is definitely something worth noting. Moving into the dilution, you guys can see that there is not too much risk of being diluted. Is definitely a little bit better than Evfm. There are some warrants. There is an equity line. However, the warrants are priced at $11.50 per share right there. So with the stock price trading at $2.68, there is plenty of upside until we hit that warrant wall. Now, the one thing that we'll have to look into is this May 2022 equity line, because there is $100 million of equity line capacity on that equity line. But you guys can see the equity line would only add roughly about 15 million shares. So at the end of the day, with a 45 million share free float, it would in fact make a dent in the share price, but it still wouldn't be too insane. So Box can definitely continue to run despite that dilution risk. And then moving into the unusual unusual whales call option flow. It is 100% bullish, $10,000 in premium or more, ask side only, and all the bulls are going for that $2.50 strike price. Some of them are going for February of 2023, while others are going for July of 2022, playing the hype over the next month. The next stock that we have on this list is Revelon. Revelon has recently filed for bankruptcy, but they have somewhat been saved, and because of them being saved, they have undergone a pretty juicy short squeeze. As you guys can see, when they did declare that they were filing for bankruptcy, they moved down about 80%. Since then, though, the stock price has actually gone up. So guys, take notes. If you guys want your stock price to go up 800% in a single week, you must be filing for bankruptcy. All jokes aside, this is a pretty decent short squeeze setup. It is very similar to rdbx in my opinion, in the way that it is fundamentally kind of trash. I mean, rdbx shareholders are only really entitled to about 70 cents per share once the merger does go through. And the similarity with Revelon is that they declared bankruptcy, essentially saying that their company is worth $0 per share, but they were able to avoid it, and that's what ended up giving it the momentum to have this little short squeeze. Now, based off the technicals, I'm just gonna say it, these are pretty bad. The market cipher strategy is you do not want to be going long when the green money flow is crossing over into red money flow, and that's exactly what you are seeing right here. RSIs are still pretty high even on this hourly time frame, and as you can see right now, it is definitely somewhat breaking this explosive uptrend. So there is the risk currently that Revelon could be seeing a retracement based off of the technicals, but as we know, technicals are not everything. So let's move on to other parts of the analysis. It's a 413 million market cap company with only 5.26 million shares in the free float. That is huge because of what we are going to be looking at in just 1 second. Utilization is at 100%. The cost to borrow is at 323%, up 174% from a week ago today. And short interest is at 71% of the free float. This is another reason why it is looking very similar to rdbx, is because it has a super high percentage of its free float being shorted. Hey guys, Hootmoney from the future here. I noticed when editing that I did not mention the FINRA exempt volume for Revelon, and as you guys can see, starting on 6/14, there's been an absolute ton of exempt volume each and every single day. Again, these all need to be bought back within 6 trading days, and you can see that the stock's float is only 5.26 million shares. So they're just essentially just selling a bunch of fake shares. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it, and this just only adds on to the juice that is the Revelon short squeeze. It also has a very low risk of being diluted. They have an ATM open, which allows them to sell new shares up to $25 million worth. This was registered in April of 2022. And then they also have $75 million on their shelf currently. So although the risk of being diluted is low, the fact that they have a high offering ability, and they did say that they were likely to go bankrupt about a week ago, I'd say your overall risk is probably a little bit more than low on this stock. But again, it's just my personal opinion. Moving in to the unusual whales option flow. Again, this one is more or less split. There was a bunch of calls coming in earlier today, some puts coming in right now. A lot of these are just very short dated, which makes me believe that they are probably from market makers for the most part. It's sitting at 56% bearish premium and then about 45% bullish premium. Most calls and puts are going for that July 1st expiration, which is this Friday, and then they're mostly going for the $2.50 call option, and this is very deep in the money. This is like a synthetic long position, and then they have the $10 puts and then $10 calls, which are in the money or out of the money, as the share price is currently at $7.22. So that's all I got for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up if you did appreciate the video. There's a lots of time and effort and analysis that goes into these videos behind the scenes. So always when you give those thumbs up, they're always very highly appreciated. Also, if you guys wanted to check out Hootmoney trade alerts, remember there's only 1 week left that will grandfather you in to the rate of $25 per month. It does go up in July. However, if you do sign up in June, you will never pay more than $25 per month for Hootmoney trade alerts. So that is the first link in the description, or second link in the pinned comment section as well. And we also have that Moomoo promotion where you get your free share of Lucid stock as long as you deposit $100 on their platform. But there's also a promotion right now where you get up to $12,500 in free stock as long as you deposit $1 on their platform. So that link is in the pinned comment and description as well. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Hope everyone had a wonderful day.